Morning, staff and members of the public. I declare the special council meeting of 16 June 2026 open at 9 a.m. The Shire of Carnarvon acknowledges and respects the Ingada and Bayungu people as traditional custodians of the lands where we live and work. We pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. The Shire of Carnarvon is committed to honouring the traditional custodians' unique cultural and spiritual relationships to the land, waters and seas, and their rich contribution to society. This meeting is being live streamed and recorded to facilitate community participation for minute-taking purposes and as required by the Act. Members of the public are reminded that in accordance with the meeting procedures local law 2021, mobile phones and other electronic devices should be switched off and not used during the meeting. Attendance will be recorded in the minutes as per the requirements of the Act. There are no apologies. There are no approved leaves of absence. Item 2, declarations of interest. CEO, are there any declarations of interest?
No declaration.
There are no declarations of interest. Item 3, public question time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an opportunity for members of the public to ask questions of council. As this is a special meeting of council, questions are limited to the purpose of the meeting. That is the agenda items that are before council in accordance with Regulation 7, Sub-Regulation 4B of the Local Government Administration Regulations 1996. Public question time is allocated a minimum period of 15 minutes in accordance with the Act. If myself as the presiding member determine that questions are out of order due to the use of offensive or objectionable expressions or are defamatory, they will not be considered, recorded nor responded to. I declare public question time open at 9:02 a.m. CEO, have we received any questions prior to the meeting?
No.
Are there any public questions? No. I declare public question time closed at 9:02 a.m. Item 4. Item 4.1.1, appointment of membership to internal committees and external working groups. We have an officer's recommendation in 2 parts found at page 13 through 14 of the agenda. This report and the officer's recommendation arises from the Local Government Carnarvon Declaration of Vacancies and Appointment of Commissioner Order 2026, whereby the remaining offices of member of council were declared vacant and a commissioner appointed pursuant to section 2.37 subsection 1 and section 2.37 subsection 4 of the Local Government Act 1995. The report advises the council has 6 committees established pursuant to section 5.8 of the Act and a number of external committees and working groups established under other statutes and some which are informal in nature. There is some urgency to deal with this matter as later this week I will attend the Walga Gascoyne Zone and Gascoyne Regional Road Group meetings representing the Shire of Carnarvon. I would be unable to attend and formally participate in these meetings as a delegate without the express authorisation of council. The same applies to the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee that will meet later today, noting that this committee must have an independent presiding member and deputy presiding member if appointed. Council appointed suitably qualified persons to these positions in October 2025 and that resolution remains in force. As you can see, the workload of the 6 council committees and 12 external committees and working groups was previously shared by 8 members of council. As a solo commissioner, I will endeavour to do my best to represent a shire across these 18 bodies. I move part 1 of the officer's recommendation and declare it resolved by absolute majority. I move part 2 of the officer's recommendation and declare it resolved by simple majority. Item 4.1.2, amendment to council public meeting dates June 2026. We have an officer's recommendation found at page 18 of the agenda. The report and recommendation ultimately seeks to defer the scheduled ordinary council meeting for June and the agenda briefing session by 1 week. The reason for this delay is to allow the administration and more relevantly me time to be properly briefed and to understand all relevant matters. My highest priority is advancing the 2026-27 budget. And as a result of the Shire of Carnarvon adopting a differential rating structure, which is not uncommon, this requires a staged approach to budget development and adoption, which includes statutory public consultation and ministerial approval prior to council adopting the budget. Given the council was substantially unable to operate throughout the month of May at a critical time for budget preparation, the timeline is under pressure, with budget adoption likely to occur at the August Ordinary Council meeting. Whilst I recognise this is not ideal, it is permissible under the Act, with ministerial approval required if a budget is not adopted by 31 August. The officer's report is otherwise self-explanatory, and therefore I move the officer's recommendation and declare it resolved by simple majority. Item 5, closure. I thank the staff and members of the public for their attendance. I declare the meeting closed at 9:06 a.m.
Hey, stand up.